Hey there, what's happening? This is Eric and
Victoria.
and we are coming at you live from our home office in beautiful Marietta, Georgia. We wanted to shoot this quick video to address a question that just about every entrepreneur asks themselves, or at least should ask themselves, before they get started on that long journey towards success. And that question is, do I really want to be an entrepreneur? Am I cut out to be an entrepreneur? And am I the right type of person to be an entrepreneur? Do I have the right makeup, the right psychological, mental skill set, et cetera, to really be an entrepreneur? And, you have to ask yourself, is this something I really want to do? So basically, what I'm suggesting, or what we're suggesting, is when you start out, you really need to make up your mind. Because being an entrepreneur is not what I would call easy. Would you call it easy, hon?
No.
No, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's definitely...
But it's worth it.
It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. But it's not easy. It's a challenge. And it's very challenging on a daily basis. It can be extremely challenging.
But you're doing something for you and your family.
If
It's something you can call your very own.
if that's what you want to do,
Yeah.
if you're the right type of person. Now, in many cases, especially in network marketing, a lot of people are pushed into joining a particular network marketing company, and they're not really entrepreneurs. They're in the business because
Social.
Uncle Joe got them in,
Social.
or because their cousin got them
They
in,
go bowling together.
or because of, as
Social.
Victoria said, for social reasons.
We recruit a lot of social.
And you're not really an entrepreneur, so maybe you're just in it, but you're not in it to win it, and then that's kind of a bad position to be in.
It is. It's unfortunate for both parties. It's unfortunate for them because, and it's all right. There are people that are in it for different reasons, but if you're hooked to a wagon and the people are serious about their business, it's not fair to them. And it's not fair to the people you're bringing on, because you're a leader to somebody. I don't care if you bring one or two people on, you're their leader. Hello,
Absolutely.
you're it. So that's and people they do come in. And I mean, I think of a lot of people that came in because their kids had grown up and they needed something to do, and they just moved to Atlanta. And then they had people that said, like, oh, this would be kind of fun and give me a social outlet to meet people. And then some people say, well, I want to feel like I'm doing some kind of work or volunteer, and I want to be a part of something. But those are not people, and you're going to have everybody's going to have those kind on their team. That's it. You're going to, and that's all right, because it takes a bag of mixed nuts for everybody.
Yep.
But having that said, if you're serious about really winning at this, then you're going to have people that, like Eric and I, or like yourself, people that are serious, that are in it to win it.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to summarize some
And
of the
they're out
things,
there.
some of the characteristics you're going to need to be successful as an entrepreneur. First of all, you must be a problem solver. You must be willing to tackle problems. People who run away from problems are definitely not entrepreneurs.
No.
So if you cringe where everything's going well, and all of a sudden you got a problem and you cringe and you melt down, you're probably not an entrepreneur. You're probably not cut out for it. Being an entrepreneur is not for the weak. It's not for the meek. You have to know what you want, and you have to go for it, and you have to be willing to go for it at all costs. Secondly, you have to be able to overcome your fear. Not to say that you don't have any fear of doing things.
You eventually, over time, will develop a thick skin. You may have some kind of skin right now, but eventually you'll develop a thick skin. Eventually.
Yeah,
Eventually.
but I've heard the saying, at every level there's a bigger devil. And so, you have to be willing to fight for what you want. And so even when you're faced with fear, it's not to say that the fear is going to go away. The fear is definitely going to lessen as you acquire certain skills in certain areas. But there are always new areas, because you have to be flexible to grow. And so what you do is you develop that muscle, which enables you to move forward in spite of fear. But you have to want to do that. You have to have that desire to do that. Nobody else can push you into it.
Nobody.
Because you're going to fail. Which brings us to another point. You've got to be willing to fail in order to succeed.
I don't care. I look at everything as practice. See, I guess I don't like the word fail. People say fail forward. I don't like the word fail. I look at it as the word practice. So what if that person didn't get into your business, your network marketing business? It was practice. So what if you're starting a new brick and mortar business and you need clientele and you're starting slow and you haven't built up what you're like? It's practice. I mean, it's practice. So, if the word fail kind of bothers you like it does me, then think of it in terms of practice. You're practicing. Practice makes perfect.
Yep.
The people that are the best and at the top practiced a whole bunch. They went through a lot of practices. So you got to be willing to practice.
Yep.
And look at his practice. Come on, get over it.
On the other side of that, if you're a perfectionist, you're probably not going to be an entrepreneur.
I mean,
because the perfectionist.
Nobody who's wealthy is perfectionist. You can't get there unless you make mistakes.
You got to wait for all the stars to line up
Those are
and
broke people.
Cross all the T's and dot all of the I's. No,
I think perfectionists are broke-minded people.
Yeah,
because they will always be getting ready to be perfect, and they're going to miss opportunities. They're going to miss making money. They're not going to make any money. And while they're trying to get all perfect, we're all going to be making bank, baby. We're going to be making money because I know I'm nowhere near perfect. Never will be. Don't care to be. But I'm going to make that money.
So if you're use perfection as an excuse and trying to wait for everything to be
Stay
perfect,
broke.
you're not gonna be an entrepreneur because entrepreneurs are action takers. They are very strong decision makers. Someone is very indecisive is probably not going to be a good entrepreneur because you have to be able to make a decision to take an action.
Action.
And then you test it. You take an action and you test it. And when you test that action, you say to yourself, what worked first? What didn't work?
You figure it out.
And then what could I change to make things better? And then that way you're constantly progressing.
Procrastination is the biggest nation.
Entrepreneurs are constantly progressing.
Totally.
And so that's what you have to
moving.
You have to, persevere. When you're dealing with issues that come up and things can look bleak at times, but every successful entrepreneur has had that spirit inside of them of perseverance, of saying, I don't care what happens, I'm not going to stop. Now, that's not to say if you're involved in a bad venture, you stay in there too long.
We've had some bad ventures and we stayed longer than we should have.
But that's part of the skill of being an entrepreneur and experience to learn when it's time to move on. So you don't want to just be stuck or married to something that's not working. But on the other hand, you want to give it enough time to work. You don't want to be the type of person that's like a pirate jumping from one ship to another ship to another ship to another ship. You want to stay in there and exhaust all opportunities to make that particular project work before you move on to the next activity. And you have to have a desire to learn the specific skills you need. As an entrepreneur, you're also going to be a professional. And so you have to be willing to make an investment to learn your profession, and an investment of time and an investment of money where it's appropriate. Mm-hmm. For somebody that says, well, I can't do that because it costs too much money.
You'll never stay broke. You'll never make any money.
An entrepreneur will find a way.
That's right.
They'll find a way to get the money that they need because they understand that it's an investment.
Stay broke.
And they have the faith in their abilities to make that money back. As long as it's a good investment, as long as it's a good project to get involved with, they'll find the money to get into that project to make it work.
Entrepreneurs always find a way. They think outside the box. And I think the problem with people who are overly logical, overly analytical, not that you can't do a business, they are looking for a straight path. And when that path cannot continue being straight, they're like, oh, what do I do? Because they're expecting everything to go according to plan. Everything's got to be lined up. All the dots have got to connect. And they want everything, and they want to have everything perfect. That's not business. That's a job. That's not business. That's a government job. That's not even sales or marketing. That's a job with the square box. Mm-hmm. Government, punch a clock, get out, make the same amount of money every 2 weeks. But a person who's an entrepreneur, it's a totally different mindset. And a lot of times, people will talk about, Eric keeps talking about motive. You know what? I don't think I've ever not had goals and dreams. I can't relate to even family members that don't think like that. Seriously. I think in terms of always having goals and dreams, always ahead. Before I reach those goals and dreams, I've already arrived at them. So the thing is, entrepreneurs, I think, Eric, are generally goal-minded people. They're dreamers. Their DNA thinks totally different. They think in terms of getting to the next plateau. They think in terms of looking at their goals, their pictures, their dreams. They look at magazines. They go and look at things. They have it, and I really do think their DNA, they don't think in terms of I can't have. As an entrepreneur, your mind is, I know I can get this. I just got to find a way to get there.
Right.
We went through ups and downs. We've had money through the Kazoot suit, and then we've had times when we had nothing. And I don't think we ever lost our dreams in the midst of that.
Right.
We may have felt further from them, and we didn't know when we were going to get there, but we never lost vision. It's kind of like Helen Keller. I was telling you her quote. She said, and she was blind, she says, there's nothing worse than a person with sight and no vision.
And no vision.
That to me is worse than a person that is totally blind.
Yep.
You've got sight. You can actually see, but you have no vision. You can't see past the week.
Yep.
You have no goals. You're just happy getting up in the morning, existing, playing with your kids, going to a job, coming home. That's existence. It's boring.
Now, the difference between just a dreamer and an entrepreneur is an entrepreneur is a dreamer that finds out what needs to be done and takes action. Puts action to it.
Action, Jackson.
Because a dreamer without action is just a pipe dream.
Dream.
Yeah, so you're going to be very action oriented. You're going to be motivated. You're going to be focused with the understanding that there's not anything out there that can stop you from reaching your goals. And then once you reach your goal, you're going to quickly reset that goal.
Anything's attainable if you put your mind to it and you go for it.
And this goes way beyond particular skills that you have, because whether you have the skills or not, if you're an entrepreneur, you will get the skills.
You'll find the way.
You'll find a way to get the skills.
You will.
And probably one of the most important things is mentorship. See, if you are an entrepreneur, you understand the value of mentorship because you have a special respect for that person who has mastered those skills that you need. You know, when someone asks you, who do you idolize? Who are the people in your life that you idolize? You're not going to have a problem thinking about who you idolize because you would have done your research to find out those individuals that have the particular set of skills that you need to be successful in your area of endeavor. And you'll know.
We don't mean it like idolatry. We don't mean that.
No, we don't mean idolatry. No. What we mean is knowing, well, of course not that. What we mean, when we say idolize, what we mean is who are we going to go to get the information need to do what we need to accomplish.
That's right.
That's what entrepreneurs do. They're willing to make an investment in the right type of mentorship. You don't want to go to the wrong mentor. So if your goal is to be an expert in Facebook marketing, your mentor is not necessarily going to be an expert in Snapchat, or maybe not necessarily expert in LinkedIn, but you're going to go to someone that has the particular set of skills and the information that you need to be successful in your area of endeavor. And what you're going to do is you're going to be willing to make an investment to learn what you need to learn to move forward, because that's what entrepreneurs do, and they don't necessarily get stuck in a particular area. They learn what they need to learn, and then they apply themselves to it. In other words, it becomes a synthesis. Now, you don't just stop with what your mentor has taught you. You don't stop there. An entrepreneur is going to put their own spin on it to make it theirs uniquely. And it's all part of your branding process. You're going to absorb what you need to absorb to help you get to where you need to go. But your leadership is going to be unique. And that's one of the things that are going to attract other people to you. Part of what we focus on is attraction marketing, and it's a special type of leadership. It's a leadership that incorporates the skills that you need to accomplish a particular thing, and then applying your particular personality, your management style, your skill set, your way of doing things, and making it uniquely yours. And so with that, Hopefully this information is useful to you. If you like the information we're providing and you'd like additional information, just type info in the comments below. And with that, this is Eric and Victoria saying, hope you're having a great evening. If not, let's make it a great one.
Action always backed behind whatever you do. So remember, excellence always does prevail. But Eric's right. You got to have action behind it. Have an excellent day.